Hello 2021. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. I'm just hoping you woke up well. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of God. I did wake up well, and as usual, I'm here to have my breakfast. Have this cute cup that I usually bring milk with, or tea sometimes. And yeah, so hoping that you're doing great, and we thank God for everything, and hoping this new year inshallah it will be nice to us. Yeah, I'm here to have breakfast, and today I'm going a whole way another level. I told you guys I love eating. I love eating. Nothing can separate me from food. Na kama umu ina tumbo, my friend, enda ukule. Wacha makasiriko. Stop saying I wanna lose weight, I wanna do what? Kama umu ina tumbo, kula. When your stomach sags, it's yours, ndio. So today I'm having ugali na maziwa for breakfast, and it's a good way to start the day because I'll spend the whole day nimeshiba. I'll be able to work, sitakuwa na makasiriko, na I'll be able to serve my customers at peace. So today I wanted to review my 2020, and I believe it was a hard year for most of us. First of all, I'm grateful to God. I'm so grateful to God, because when the pandemic hit, I didn't lose my job. This is one of the most important things that I want to thank God. Neither did I go any of those months without mushahara. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This is one of the greatest things that I want to thank God for. Though 2021 was a difficult year, a very difficult one for so many people, but it could never be so difficult like losing someone. I lost close to 7 people 2020 who are so close to my heart, or who are so dear to my heart in one way or the other, and we just accepted the will of God. By October, which was my birthday, I had already lost 6 people, and the one that hit me so hard was that of my grandmother. Though each of those people who died, they had a significant place in my heart, you know. By the time I received the news of the death of my grandmother, I got shattered. Ushaikaa hapa mahali unashindwa, do I cry? Do I scream? Do I shout? What do I do? And how did I receive the news of the death of my grandmother? My cousin Mwangi sent a message on our family WhatsApp group, and he said, I have very bad news. Okay, let me just tell you how the day was. I spent that day, it was my off. I remember very well, it was on a Sunday. And then that evening, I decided to visit one of my Sudanese family friends. So I went there and we spent the evening together. I went to their house around 8 and I left there around 11:30 because they were insisting on having barbecue and stuff like that. I remember very well not having good appetite for eating that night. And then I drove home around 11:30. On my way home, I talked to my special someone, and I told him I'm leaving. I'm going home now. Okay, and khalas, we talked and I figured go home. So mi nakuanga na tabia ya like I wanted to go and take shower, and at the same time I wanted to put my phone on charge. So I decided wacha niweke simu kwa charge, then I proceed and take shower. So I had my habaya on. I removed my habaya, and then before I put my phone on Shahan, I decided, let me just check, maybe I have a message from that family house to my house is around 10-15 minutes. So wacha nione. And when I opened the phone, that's the first message that popped. Mwangi had said, I have very bad news, and Shosho has left us. And I'm like, which Shosho? So Soleko, the one we had a video call the other day, or another one. I breathed in, I breathed out, nikakaa chini kwa floor, and I called my dad. And my mother picked up the phone. I think at this point my father was so broken, like he didn't have the energy to talk to anyone. And my mother told me, yeah, actually hata sisi tumesikia hivyo ati Shosho amekufa. Like how? Kama Morwalu alikuwa mgonjwa. What happened? My Shosho was not sick. Hakuwa mgonjwa. She just alikufa tu. She didn't have any sign of headache. She didn't have nothing. Hakuwa hata na homa. Ate ni akumira ngo hakuwa nayo. So it was shocking news to everyone. So my mother proceeds and tell me, yeah, Shosho has passed on. I call Mwangi myself again. Mwangi ate yeah, that's what is it. And kalas. So I don't know, I kept my phone down and I was like numb. I was so numb. I shouted my heart out, and then I called again my man, and I'm like and he's like, si tumeongea tu sahi, what has happened? And then I told him, you know what, Shosho has passed on. He knew how dear my Shosho was. He knew how so much dear my Shosho was. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming over. And then I sat there and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm thinking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Dio yani. Anywho's, I absorbed the news and I'm the one who called like everyone, because at this point my sisters were sleeping. It's around 11:30 hivi. And 11:30 in Kenya kila mtu amelala. And I called them and asked, what happened? Shosho has gone. Everyone was shocked. So for me, I didn't sleep that night. And the following day, I was supposed to go to work on a PM shift. And around 9 in the morning, I told my manager, I'm not coming to work. Yeah. And at that point, I was feeling sick. I was feeling, I don't know, like I was kalas. I was so devastated by that news. So the following day, I went to Hosi to just get a medical sick leave, because there's no way that my job would allow me to stay at home. And I remember at one point when I was driving, I stopped on the highway and I was like, ooh, I was shouting, and then I felt calm. Anyway, I called my area manager and I told him this is what has happened, and khalas, I want to go home. And yeah, everything was like okay. By evening, I went and bought the ticket. I didn't tell anyone that I'm going home or anything. I went to bought the ticket. The following day, I went for Fahas. I did my test for corona. I got my certificate on 29. I traveled home. Mind you, it has been a difficult year because my dad was on and off from hospital, and I couldn't imagine how he was feeling for the sad news of the demise of his mom. So I go home and we bury my Shosho. I was so much involved in the burial of my Shosho. I made sure kwa kaburi yake I scooped the first 10 scoops of soil. We prepared her final resting home. We laid her to rest. And so many things happened later after we buried my grandmother, and we were going through so much, me and my family. My mom was there broken. My father was there shattered because the last days of Shosho's life, she spent with my family. Like 90 days, she spent with my mom and dad and my son at home. And then, alikuwa tu ametoka home for like only like a week or something to my father's brother's house, and that's where she passed on. So the news was so, I could see the broken heart of my dad. And hakuna mama wa mtu mdogo. People wanachezanga like it's Shosho colors, like because she's Shosho she was supposed to dad. Nah. I could see how broken my father was, but alhamdulillah we managed over. I stayed with them for that 1 month, and I got peace. I felt so much peace for burying my grandmother and being there involved in her burial and everything. I felt peace, and I thank God that we have a new year, inshallah, now. Though it's my first year without Shosho. I always spent my New Year's in Kenya all the time, but this time because I went on November on November, I spent there November, I couldn't be there home. So it's my first year without my grandmother, and I didn't see that. Mimi watu wakisema oh Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, I didn't see even the reason for Christmas, because it was our first Christmas without Shosho for my family, because of course they are Christians. It's their first Christmas without Shosho, and also on that specific day it was 2 months since we laid Shosho arrested, so it wasn't that's beautiful, you know. But all in all, God has been good, because even that year it was the most difficult year, but so many things happened that like I was able to, I was making a home for myself and my son, and I was able to complete it and paint it the same by October, before my 31st birthday. That was October 17. I'm so grateful for that, because I never thought at my age I would be owning a car. I never thought at my age I would have my somewhere, hata kama ni room moja, that I would call mine, not my father's house. And I was also able, when I went home this time vacation, I didn't sleep in their house, I slept in my own house. So there's no better feeling like that. So I'm so grateful to God for everything, even though the year was so difficult. I'm also so grateful I have a teenage son at my age. I feel so blessed having Glenn by my side at my age. And there's so many reasons to be grateful for, even though the year was hard, even though we had so many challenges, but all in all we have so many things to tell God thanks for. I'm grateful for having my parents around. Something I don't take granted for. They have raised me until where I am today, and they have raised my son since he was since I came back from my husband's family. That's 3 years when my son was 3. They have raised me, and they have helped since I left my son when he was 7 years old. Na sahi ni mwanaume. I'm so grateful for that, and those are the things that like we take for granted. I have friends here hawana mahali pa kuacha watoto wao, but for me I have somewhere to leave my son, and I have people who are taking good care of my son. I so thank God for them. I thank God for my siblings. In one way or the other, they support me so much, and I thank God for them. God bless them so much, and God bless my parents so much. So even though the year was so hard, even though it was so difficult, 2020, I still have 1,001 reasons to say thanks to God for the good things that we experienced, because it was a bad year. Things were not happening, but still God made things happen for us. So time has really elapsed, and my ugari is almost finished, done, and I have to go back to work. Just sit there, review your year, see so many things that God have done for you. Even before I forget, I tested positive for corona towards the end of the year. And I thank God. I never had the ventilation. I never got any symptoms. I was not that sick. It's just that I tested positive for corona. And God made me go through that. And you know, it's by the grace of God. I have I know that it's not easy. Like, I saw people who came there and they were so devastated by the news and they didn't want to tell their family. For me, when the results came for positive, that I was positive, I called everyone. I called each and everyone. I didn't want, I called my mom, I called my dad, I called my siblings one by one, because I didn't want them to hear from other people, and I didn't want them to like, oh, Gaya Ganmoro Aruke Corona. And you know, there is a lot of stigma in Kenya when people hear that you have COVID. I went live on my Facebook page. I was so open with that because I wasn't sick. It's just that the test came positive. I was asymptomatic, whatever I am. And God made me go through that. We were so many in quarantine, and most people when they came there, they were so devastated by the news, and they were like, oh my God, kala sijui familia yangu itafanya nini. But because God had given me the grace, I would talk to them, and by the time there are 2-3 days, they were good to go. So imagine that. Imagine. Got sick, tested positive for corona, but we still survived. With good health, and alhamdulillah, I still have 1,001 reasons to thank God for my life. So I want to wish you a very happy day, inshallah, and I want to wish you a very prosperous new year. And I want you to sit down and think about what happened 2020 and what we are grateful for everything, the gift of life, having a job, having a family that loves you so much, and we have so many things to thank God for. And let us not see always the negative side of story, because there's still the better part, and there's still that positive part of the story. So see you inshallah another day. Much love and God bless you so much, and ma salama. I love you.